Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being a part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up those football gods here on this Taco Tuesday. And I hope all your taco dreams come true, as the Dallas Cowboys, of course, have a day off before they get back on the practice field for Sunday's evening game in the playoffs. Yeah, we're talking about playoffs. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys will get back on the practice field, and it looks like the Dallas Cowboys may be one of the healthiest teams going into the playoffs. Basically, you can just look at the only person we are really missing from the beginning roster of the projected players that we thought we would have is Michael Gallup. That's it. But we got Cedric Wilson, who's been actually playing really, really well as well. In fact, throwing the pass actually pretty good as well. Tyron Smith, because of COVID, will have gotten an extra week of rest before we go into the playoffs, although I'm still on the fence. Some people will say I'm crazy, but I honestly believe right now that Terrence Steele, healthy, is better than a Tyron Smith who's not. You call me crazy, but it seems like Tyron Smith is not the same guy that we've known and loved. He's not the same guy, at least the last part of the season, that he was in the first half of the season. And right now, I almost feel like Terrence Steele really needs to be on the field. I actually feel like Terrence Steele is one of our better offensive linemen. And when Tyron Smith is in there, we got Lyle Collins. He's a bench warmer. And I look at that and I say, do we really have the best combination of players out there? But at this point in the season, you got to dance with who you came with. You got to dance with who you came with. It's really too late to be experimenting and changing up a lot of things. But if Tyron Smith is struggling, I have confidence in Terrence Steele right now. And I think we're going to look back some years from now, and we're going to look and say that Terrence Steele was one of the really good Dallas Cowboys offensive linemen that they've gotten, where they did not think they were going to be getting the type of player that they did, much like a Nate Newton, who was let go from the Washington football team because they said he was too fat, too slow, and wasn't going to amount to anything. Yeah, Washington. They've been messing up things for years. So maybe we have some good news on the Denver Broncos situation with Dan Quinn. The Denver Broncos appear to be doing their due diligence as far as interviewing candidates, and they've got the cream of the crop as far as people that they want to talk to. On the head of the list, we're told that the guy who's definitely leading the pack is Dan Quinn. They definitely want Dan Quinn, but they also have the Eagles' Jonathan Gannon. They have the Patriots' Jared Mayo, another hot candidate. The Lions' Aaron Glenn. Those are all defensive coordinators and defensive guys that they're looking at. Offensively, they have the Packers' Nathaniel Hackett, Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy, I still don't understand why he's not a head coach yet. Kellen Moore, Kevin O'Connell from the Rams, and Luke Getsy from the Packers. So they've got 9 people that they're looking at. So maybe we don't lose Dan Quinn. I don't know. Maybe Dan Quinn's going to go through the exercise and try and work out a better deal with Jerry Jones. You know what I mean? Because nothing sets up urgency and nothing sets up better leverage than knowing that somebody else wants you. You know what I mean? If Jerry Jones all of a sudden thinks that, oh, I'm going to lose him to a head coaching position and I really want to keep him, he's going to up the ante. And what a difference a year makes, because when Dan Quinn was hired last year, admit it, most of us Cowboy fans were out here saying, oh, man, this bum, why are we getting him? God, man, get Wade Phillips. Get Wade Phillips, man. He's just waiting for a phone call. Let's get Urban Meyer here. Why are we bringing Dan Quinn as our defensive coordinator? Man, they've been giving up points like crazy, man. The biggest collapses in the NFL. Did you see that Super Bowl? And it's like, wait a minute. You went to a Super Bowl? Oh, I was like, okay, that's better than what we've done the last 26 years. Just saying. And now he's the toast of the town. And that's the NFL for you, because things change quickly in the NFL. So my premise has been that the Dallas Cowboys are graded on a different scale than everybody else. And it's almost comical to me when I point out Dak compared to other quarterbacks. I don't care about, oh, man, why? See, you just trashing somebody else to try and make Dak look like somebody. No, I'm trying to show you all who believe that everybody is up here and perfect and think that Dak's down here, that everybody you think that's up here that's perfect really aren't that good. That really there's a narrative out there that is bullshit. You know, it's crazy because we've been told that Dak Prescott has slumped. I did a video about this yesterday. That Dak Prescott has slumped, right? Oh, the Cowboys have to worry about Dak Prescott. He's slumping. Last 4 games, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1,000 yards. When it comes to other quarterbacks that may be slumping, they don't do that. I know you're saying, Mark, you're in the clubhouse for Dak Prescott. You know, we know that you thought he was going to be a great quarterback for the Cowboys at the Senior Bowl and all that, and did a video about it, and your channel grew because of that video, because, you know, you were kind of right that Dak Prescott was the perfect quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, we'll give you that, and we know that you're a big fan of his, but come on. Nobody really does that. It's really that Dak Prescott isn't that good. Enter Matthew Stafford. We had people here. I remember a comment from somebody who literally said the Dallas Cowboys don't care about winning because they paid that garbage-ass quarterback Dak Prescott. They didn't do everything that they could to get better. And I was like, okay, so what was your solution? We should have gone after Matthew Stafford. We should have made that trade to get him. I said, so that meant that Micah Parsons, our number 1 draft pick, wouldn't be here. Next year's number 1 draft pick wouldn't be here. And we just let Dak Prescott walk? Yeah, that's what we should have done. Now, I'll give you, Matthew Stafford does have over 40 TDs. But he also has 17 interceptions, 8 of which in the last 4 games. Here's an interesting stat for you. Quarterbacks with over 35 TDs this year at 10 or under in interceptions. There's only 2 quarterbacks out there. Aaron frickin' Rodgers and Dak Prescott. Because it's not enough to throw touchdown passes. You also have to take care of the ball. And so, to prove my point of exactly what I'm talking about, I want you to listen to this. After Matthew Stafford, who has thrown 4 pick sixes this season, who is now the 4th highest in pick sixes with 27 in his career, who has 8 TDs and 8 interceptions over the last 4 weeks, who threw an interception in overtime that ended the game. Here's what you get about Matthew Stafford.
Rams won. Matthew Stafford had a shaky game. Are you concerned at all?
No. Right. Matthew Stafford didn't have a shaky game, okay?
He didn't have a shaky game.
He had 2 shaky throws. He went 14 of 14 in the second half. That's not a shaky game. No, I'm not concerned about the interceptions. 10 o'clock start, 2nd straight week. I think once he gets fooled on the Chuck Clark interception, he gets fooled with the coverage. It's not a great play. I'm not saying that, but I'll give some credit to the defense. I think his 2nd interception is a little bit of a force. This 1st interception, I think, is a nice job in coverage. I really do. Do I want him to read the stick route outside in? Absolutely. That's what I would tell Matthew like I did last night. I think this ball is forced and the shallow cross is there. But I'm not overly concerned with the interceptions. I don't think that there's more than 4 or 5 guys in the NFL at that position that I trust more with the ball in their hands in the fourth quarter than Matthew Stafford. If he gets the ball in that situation, I bet my life savings that he is going to go make that play. I think his connection with Odell is growing. I'm not concerned.
Dan is betting his life savings.
It's not a lot, trust me.
Cousin Tiffany, my nephews, the boys,
Hunter, Madden, Noah.
Yeah, just let them know. My niece. I just want you all guys to know that Uncle Ryan will be here once your dad loses his entire life savings betting with Matthew Stafford. I've done a great job of saving. I do not go into business with my friends, therefore will not lose my life savings. And so it's all good, guys. I have you. Listen, there's no way to watch Matthew Stafford play the second half of the season and not be concerned, right? You have to be concerned about the 3-game losing streak you have against the Titans, the 49ers, and then you lose another one. I even forget who it was, the Packers, right? And then you play good against Jacksonville. You play good against the Cardinals. Now, 7 turnovers in the last 3 games. This is a problem. And Rex will tell you why we can't just go ahead and trust him and trust that, when the lights are on, when the playoffs start, Matthew Stafford will be amazing and he won't throw the football to the other team. Because what we've seen throughout the second half of this season is that he will. I am concerned about Matthew Stafford because his play could be what separates them from being a championship team and a one and done.
Yeah, if you have turnovers in playoff games, you lose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things, right? Obviously, one of the biggest
he'll remember
things.
that from when he played with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, but one thing about Matthew Stafford that we can count on is the fact he's never won a playoff game. So if we can sit back and we talked about it today, and you hit it right on the head when you said he's had 42 fourth-quarter comebacks. That's impressive as hell. Yeah. All right, now the fact they've been down that many times is another thing. But I just think turnovers are huge, and this guy's never done it. Right. Why are we saying that Tom Brady has a chance with his football team?
Because he's the greatest quarterback ever.
The greatest one ever, and he's been there and done it. This man is
real quick.
Who do you think is the best quarterback in the fourth quarter this season in the NFL?
Who?
Matthew Stafford. How many interceptions does he have in the fourth quarter this season in the NFL?
0.
I don't know. All right. In his own back.
Okay.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube for live streaming sports and premium.
So he's literally saying that even though he's a turnover machine, this is what he said about Dak Prescott just 4 weeks ago.
Cowboys defense is dominating and is the reason why they're going to win the division and be a threat.
That's absolutely not why we drew it up or how we drew it up. Early on in this season, we thought the offense was going to carry this team. We thought Dak Prescott was going to play at an MVP level, and this is why this team would be a championship contender. But when you think about what Micah Parsons is doing, the things that Dan Quinn has added to this defense, the defense is now becoming the reason why this team could win football games. They were the reasons why you score points early on, and they also shut down the Washington football team when they needed to at the end. You have a defensive player of the year candidate in Micah Parsons. You also had that in Trayvon Diggs. And now that you've got Randy Gregory, right, also DeMarcus Lawrence back healthy, you can rush the passer in so many ways. But bottom line is this. The Dallas Cowboys are judged by championships. It's been a quarter century since they've had an opportunity to win one. This Dak Prescott, the guy playing football now, cannot win a championship. They cannot be a Super Bowl team with number 4 playing at the level he's playing at. So if that doesn't change, we'll be having the same conversation we've had for years about the Cowboys. They'll be sitting home watching the Super Bowl with us.
What's happened here?
Well, Dak Prescott is regressing. He is the reason right now that there's offensive struggles. The two basic ways I can say it is, number one, he looks like he's playing scared football. There's no comfort or trust within the pocket.
No,
but he looks like he's playing scared football. Scared to hold the ball in the pocket, scared to hang in there and make a play, scared to go be creative, and then there's no consistency with the conviction of his eyes and his feet. Sometimes his eyes and feet are together early in the game, then they run the same play and his feet are here and his eyes are there. There's just no consistency with his conviction.
Now, you know what's funny? We talked about, before I ever saw this thing with Dak Prescott, and he talked about high expectations. What did I say in our meeting at 6 a.m.? We get up early for this show. All right, just so you guys know. I said he's playing like he's got such high expectations, and he's playing tight because of it. This guy's not scared. This guy's not afraid of the devil. I can assure you that. All right, a 4-time captain at Mississippi State. This guy, to me, Dano, in my opinion, he's playing tight. and what he doesn't want to make the big mistake. Well, when you do that, you don't play as aggressive. This kid needs to get back to saying when their defense was garbage, this guy was at his best.
Right.
Bring that level of play now with that defense you got, and you may want to.
At the beginning of the season, he was playing like a guy who knew exactly who he was.
Yeah.
Like he deserved that money, like he was an MVP candidate, like he was a franchise quarterback. Now he's playing like the guy that replaced Tony Romo.
Right.
I'm not going to hurt the team.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure the run game works and allow my defense to win. That's not who he was early on in the season.
I'll ask you guys this. When was the last game that Dak Prescott played against a good defense and he played well?
New England.
Yeah.
So October 17th.
Yeah.
So we're at 2 months the last time he played against a good team and played well. There is regression this season.
Okay, so that's the reason why I watch the Talking Heads. That's the reason why I do comparisons of other quarterbacks. Because, see, if you watch these shows, and that's where you get your thing, and there's nothing wrong with that, the perception you have is Matthew Stafford is fine. It's no big deal, the things that he's got going on. Dak Prescott has regressed and is overpaid. That's the narrative. You got Dak Prescott, who they said slumped. They said he slumped, okay? I'm not saying that he didn't have some bad games in there, but there was also mitigating circumstances. You lose your left tackle. You have a different offensive line starting up every week. Your running game has completely shut down. You lose your starting receivers. But Matthew Stafford in the last 4 games has almost as many interceptions as Dak has had all season. Does anybody else see the difference here, or am I just crazy? Well, it's one of the reasons why I originally started doing what I do, because I would always see these narratives that started out with Tony Romo that were such bullshit. And people believe it. Somebody's got to be the voice of reason and at least show you the difference of what's going on. So that being said, I've got an old friend I got to go see this morning. Definitely don't want to wait to do things. You don't want to look back later on and say, I wish I had done blah, blah, blah. You got to make sure that you take advantage of time and situation that you have in front of you, because you might not ever get another chance. With that being said, it's time for me to get going to work, y'all. You know how we roll.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is